We bankrupted the local Pizza Hut because of a wrong phone number. I'll start with the result. We permanently lost the ability to order from several local Pizza Hut restaurants. We once had a phone number very close to Pizza Hut's. Theirs was 555-455-5575, and ours was 555-455-5515. Easy to mix up, for obvious reasons. This was before the mobile era, and we even had to a caller ID because of the confusion. For years, Pizza Hut customers called our house, about 50-50 sober or drunk, and tried to order pizza. The problem is, people never listen when you say, "Sorry, wrong number." Drunk callers would ring back 4 or 5 times and then start yelling into the phone, "I know this is Pizza Hut," or "Give me the number or I'll kick your ass." It became routine, and even Pizza Hut knew about it and apologized when we called them, though they never gave us anything free despite the huge inconvenience of our phone ringing off the hook. Then Pizza Hut corporate paid for ads, newspaper, billboards, phone book. And guess what? They messed up and listed our number as one of their stores in our town. Apparently they think the digits 1 and 7 are the same. The number of calls skyrocketed. Instead of 3 to 5 calls a day, we were getting 100 to 200. At first, we directed people via voicemail. "This isn't Pizza Hut. Their number is 455-5515. Didn't help. People left messages screaming, "I want a bleeping pizza. This is BS. I'm going to kill whoever won't pick up." I can't count how many times I got cursed out just for trying to point people to the right number. And for some reason, no one ever listened. When the ad mix-up happened, my dad called Pizza Hut and said, "Look, we'd rather not change our number. Could you please change yours? Or at least pay for changing ours? It costs like $10. We'll stop getting your bleeping order calls." The manager cussed my dad out. He was on speaker, called him names, and accused him of ruining reviews and stealing customers from his franchise. What a circus. His business was losing like 10 grand because of a phone number? Why not just change it? Who knows? Dad looked at the phone, hung up, and said, "All right, you want to do this the hard way." Then he told me, a 17-year-old, and my sister to answer every call. If the phone rings, pick up, take the order, and say, "Okay, your pizza will be there in an hour and a half." If they called back, we'd say, "Sorry, the driver just left." If they called a third time, we'd say, "I can transfer you to our manager, but if you keep complaining, he'll probably kick your ass," and hand the phone to Dad, who'd say, cue dramatic music, "Listen up, you're not getting your pizza, and we're keeping your money, so deal with it," or something like that. 2 weeks later, Dad tried again to make that particular Pizza Hut change our number on their dime. He didn't even mention their ad screw-up. Apparently they didn't realize it. Again the manager yelled, "I don't have the money to change my bleeping phone number." We tried calling other Pizza Huts to solve it, and even corporate, but no luck. Fine. Game on for the whole summer. 2 reasons. 1. Dad bought a phone with a call transfer button. 2. Summer was coming, and my sister and I loved pranking people. Not the best pastime for teens on break, honestly. We took calls all day, every day. Friends came over and loved joining in. We had a shared plan. Every second caller got a delivery. For the others, we'd win them up, yell back, "Want to talk to the manager?" and just transfer the call to the actual Pizza Hut. After 6 more weeks of this fun, the Pizza Hut closed. A few weeks before they shut down, corporate called and basically threatened us to stop. It sounded like they didn't understand what was happening because they accused us of stealing their calls. We phoned them back and explained the situation, played recordings of our conversations with the manager about a problem they were ignoring. All they could say was, "You'd better stop. This is illegal," over and over. We didn't stop, of course. They knew exactly what was going on and just didn't want to do anything because fixing their mistake was too hard. A few weeks after the manager lost his job, he called our house and tried to argue with my father. "You're a bad person. I lost money and got beat up a few times." Turns out we'd made some customers so furious they actually showed up and attacked him and other employees. To this day, it cracks me up that a company can be that blind. Anyone with a shred of sense in that manager's place would have changed the number immediately. But alas, a corporation with money for lawsuits and a local manager with an inflated ego. And now, the next story. Story 2. I accidentally interviewed for a job while trying to fix my exercise machine and got an employee fired for discrimination. Names changed out of respect for the business owner. I'm of a certain age. Let's say I have grandkids in high school, so I was extra careful about isolating during the pandemic. Sadly, that meant giving up my regular gym trips for an indefinite stretch. I splurged on a couple of machines for home. I bought them at a local sporting goods store I chose because of their generous warranty and repair terms. Then one machine broke. I called the store, and suddenly they were much harder to reach than during the purchase. No one would commit to a repair date. Texts were never available, and support left me on hold forever, even though it was a small local shop. A mess. I finally decided to go in person. At that point, our state's businesses were just starting to reopen, so sporting goods stores weren't flooded yet. I was surprised to see a dozen cars in the lot, mostly lifted pickups and Jeeps with skull decals, cartel stickers, that sort of thing. Made sense. Exactly the crowd to rush a sporting goods store first. I didn't think much of it. I'd had Zoom meetings all morning, so I was in business attire. Classic slacks, pearls, knit turtleneck, the works. Inside, I saw a line of big, jacked guys at the counter. They looked like they'd just come from work too. I figured they were waiting for service. They looked surprised to see me, but I chalked it up to most older folks still staying home. A few minutes later, I noticed staff calling these muscle men by name and taking them into a back office. I assumed it was a social distancing measure, so I went to the employee calling names and asked, "Excuse me, do I need to take a number or sign up somewhere?" He looked surprised again. I chalked it up to my age. He told me to. Hold on a minute. I asked if I should start filling out paperwork. Many of the guys were filling something in, and I assumed it was repair forms to speed things up. He insisted I just wait. Meanwhile, a more senior employee came out every few minutes and called people into the office. The junior guy pulled him aside and pointed at me. I waved. The senior came over. "Ma'am, are you sure you're in the right place?" "Oh, absolutely. I've been planning to come all week." "Great, then we can chat right now. Want to step into the office?" The gym bros exchanged puzzled looks. I figured I was cutting the line. Maybe they were prioritizing me since I'm higher risk. "That's kind, but most of these men arrived before me. I can wait. Why not give me the paperwork to fill out first?" He just shook his head. "Before any forms, let's talk." We sat in a small office. All this fuss for a repair appointment seemed over the top, but I thought, guess this is the new normal. They glanced at each other like neither knew what to say. First day for both? I thought, let's get this over with. Finally, the senior ventured. "So, you've got extensive experience servicing exercise equipment." I immediately assumed they were going to pin blame on me to void the warranty or upsell me, so I answered sharply, "But honestly, I've worked out every day longer than at least one of you has been alive. I can look at any model on your floor and tell you what it does, why, which features matter, and which are fluff to line your pockets. And I definitely know the difference between a functional and a broken machine, so I don't see why we're having this conversation. Just tell me what info you need. I'll sign, and let's schedule the repair." He folded his hands. "All right, listen. I'm sure you do have a lot of experience and know your stuff, but okay, tell me, how old are you?" There was zero reason he'd need that to send a tech to my house. I was shocked. Was he hitting on me? Or hinting there's no point fixing it since I'll die soon? What? And what does that have to do with anything? "You have no right to ask me that," the junior whispered. "Hey, yeah, I think legally you can't even ask that." And then it clicked. The 30-something senior flashed a "shut up" hand to his coworker and continued. I couldn't tell if he was backtracking or doubling down. "It's just that clients find it easier to trust someone who looks like them. So it's not about age so much as you're a woman." The junior groaned in despair. "Bro, no." Then he snapped into business buzzwords. My colleague meant we target a specific demographic and ran out of jargon. They realized the situation was spiraling, and I stared them down. That's when I fully realized I'd wandered into a group of job applicants and they'd mistaken me for one of them. You do realize it's illegal to ask a candidate's age or discriminate based on sex, I said. The senior thought he still had control. "It's not about us, ma'am. We're concerned for your safety, you understand? We're not saying you can't work here or you're incapable. We're saying you shouldn't. We're doing you a favor by not considering you. There's a lot of heavy lifting. It's unsafe for elderly people. Your bone density declines with age. Haven't you noticed? And you'd never be left in the store alone with other staff. You'd be the only woman here. That would be very uncomfortable for you, I mean, I wanted to be sure I had grounds to come down on them. I'm lucky to have a stable job. Many my age are barely getting by, and the thought of them facing this garbage made me furious. Thanks for your concern, but times are hard and I'm qualified for this position. I'd like to fill out an application. The junior looked ready to hand me a form just to end it, but the senior said firmly, for all the reasons I just listed, I don't think that's a good idea. Enough. That sweaty man-child couldn't possibly be the owner, so I asked to speak to the owner. They said he wasn't reachable by phone. There was a stack of business cards on the table. I took the one labeled owner. It only had the main store number, but it listed an email. Then I'll email him. Now I need your full name. The junior said he was Ken Lopez. Fine. The senior called himself Brian Smith. I nodded. Hey Brian, why does your shirt say Andy? I found his real card and pocketed it. I wasn't going to let him hide behind excuses. As I left, I summed it up clearly. So to be perfectly clear, you're refusing even to let me fill out an application because you won't consider me due to my age and my sex. He tried to keep quiet, but finally cracked and muttered, Look, ma'am, it is what it is. His dim junior added, good luck with the job search, and tried to hand me a coupon for wasting my trip. No sympathy. At the start, when I thought I was in the repair line, he also refused to give me a form, took one look at me, and fetched the boss to filter me out. Soon after, I emailed the owner, explaining not only their discriminatory hiring practices, at minimum, but also that I had come as a customer, and no one even greeted me or asked how to help. No one even realized I was a buyer. And no, I never got a job application. Good. My current employer wouldn't love hearing I was looking. What I did get was a quick, hassle-free repair and a direct number for future issues. Later, the owner called personally to apologize and told me the senior guy was fired and the junior disciplined. Best part, the business owner was a woman. What do you think about this story? Do you think HR is right to reject someone just because they assume they're not a fit at a glance? I think she went a bit too far, because honestly, if the guys don't want women working there, that's their right. On the other hand, I get how she felt. And yeah, I'd be upset too. Still, I think if a business doesn't want to hire someone, that's their right, and they don't even have to explain. Story 3. A sweet old lady gets revenge on a rude woman. This was a few years back. I was the charge nurse on night shift in the ICU. I'd just finished a 12-hour shift that stretched to 14 because of an emergency. I was wiped and due back in 9 hours for a 4 shift. All I wanted was to grab groceries for the slow cooker so I'd have dinner later. I went into a big box store that sells everything: food, clothes, electronics. I was in bright blue scrubs with a big charge nurse badge and had my stethoscope on. I'd forgotten to take it off. Store employees don't dress like that. Walking in, I saw an elderly couple trying to load a huge box into their SUV. When I say elderly, I mean 90-ish, hands shaking, barely standing. Patients that age usually have a 3-page meds list. The man's hips would not survive that box without a fracture, and I'd lifted enough today. I hurried over and offered help. The woman gratefully accepted. The TV was bulky more than heavy. We chatted. She said it was a gift for their son and her husband didn't want to wait for help. I wondered why no employee was helping. And then it happened. Excuse me. Hey! We fell silent and looked over. A woman in her 50s in a cheap beige pantsuit stood about 15 feet away, hand on a too-wide hip. If you're done over there, I need help here. She pointed to her cart with 2 flat-pack bookcases. She thought I worked there. Oh, sorry. I don't work. You're already making me late. Just do it, and don't scratch my car. The old woman and I exchanged baffled looks. I tried again. I don't work. Just do it. She snapped, stepping away and rummaging in her bag for keys, muttering, F***********, ing idiots. As she dug around, her cart started rolling. One wheel dropped off the curb. The weight shifted, and the cart tipped. I lunged to stop it. Too late. She turned and saw her particle board bookcases scattered on the asphalt, corners dented. One box had torn open, parts and packaging poking out. She lost it. What the hell? You ing idiot. Pick them up. God damn it. I'll get you fired. You owe me new shelves and I'm late. That did it. Pick them up yourself. I don't work here. I turned to head inside when she grabbed my sleeve and tried to yank me back. I ripped my arm free and faced her red, furious face. She opened her mouth to scream again, but I pointed a finger and said, "No, don't touch me. Shut the hell up. I don't work here, and even if I did, I'd quit before helping you with your mess." She froze, mouth opening and closing. Then a manager and an employee came out. Seeing the manager, she found her voice. "Are you the manager? This man ruined my shelves and refuses to pay." "Seriously?" A guy in bright blue scrubs with a stethoscope and a huge charge nurse badge clearly doesn't work there, and instead of apologizing, she doubles down and blames me. Before I could defend myself, the elderly man I'd helped stepped in and explained to the manager. She kept complaining, but the manager understood and apologized to me and the couple. I stood aside, fuming, while the manager dealt with her and inspected the shelves, not actually damaged. He offered 2 new boxes anyway, but she was too far gone. She refused, announced she was already late because of me, glared at me, and told the manager, "Just load them. I'm already late enough." The manager and employee stuffed the boxes into her car. I shook my head and was about to go in when the elderly woman I'd helped stopped me. "Sir, thank you so much for helping with the TV. I'm so sorry some people are so rude." She reached for a handshake. When her frail hands wrapped mine, I felt her slip something into my palm. She whispered, "Don't look now. Wait until she drives off." I slid the bundle into my pocket, and she walked away. The rude lady got in her car, offered no thanks or apology, and sped off. I finally went inside. Reaching into my pocket, I pulled out a plastic bag full of screws and hardware. I realized the sweet old lady had used the commotion to swipe the hardware pack from the rude woman's torn box. I couldn't believe it. I grinned ear to ear through my shopping. I had a new petty revenge hero to emulate. Story 4. The angry lady really wanted caramel apples. I stopped by the supermarket on my lunch break to buy ingredients for cider. I found the only preservative-free apple juice they carried, loaded a dozen 2-liter bottles into my cart, kept them in their cardboard cases, and wheeled off to grab a few more items. One woman noticed the cases and asked where I'd found them. I had time, so I walked her over to the juice. She thanked me. Immediately another woman approached. "He used to carry caramel apples, but I can't find them. Where are they?" I had no idea. "Sorry, I don't know. I don't work here." Her eyes narrowed. "What do you mean you don't work here? I just saw you helping that woman." I was in a t-shirt and corduroy pants, nothing like an employee. I knew this could only go badly, but tried to be polite. "Sorry, ma'am. She asked where I got the juice, and I showed her. I really don't work here." "What do you mean you don't work here?" "I don't. I'm a customer like you." "Then just tell me where the caramel apples are. This is getting weird." "I truly don't know where the caramel apples are." "I don't work here. Do you even know where anything is in this store?" "I know where the apple juice is." "Where are the caramel apples?" "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I can't help you. I really don't work here." "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I don't work in this store. I don't know where the caramel apples are." "I'm a customer like you. Then why are you stocking shelves?" She pointed at the juice cases in my cart. "I'm a customer. I'm going to buy what's in my cart. No one needs that much juice. You work here, and you need to tell me where the caramel apples are." By now everyone nearby had stopped and was staring. A store employee walked over. "Ma'am, the caramel apples were a seasonal item, and I'm afraid we're out." She shot him a venomous look, then glared at me. "Why didn't he tell me that?" The employee, "He doesn't work here, ma'am." She roared in frustration, shoved her cart into a canned goods display, knocking it over, and yelled, "What's wrong with all of you? I'm never coming back here again." She stormed out. The employee gave me a, "What the hell just happened?" look. I returned it and went to check out. I loaded the juice into my trunk and got in. Before pulling out, I checked my mirrors and saw the caramel apple lady in the driver's seat of the car to my left, crying. I lowered my window and waved to get her attention. She saw me, waited 15 seconds, and lowered hers. "Are you okay, ma'am?" I asked, through tears. "I promised to bring caramel apples to my grandson's party." I asked when the party was. "Tonight." I told her I'd seen caramel apple kits at another store, and if she made them now, they'd be ready for the party. Her eyes lit up. "Thank you. You're welcome," I said, and went back to work. That was a batch of "I don't work here" stories. Hope you liked them. If so, say which one was your favorite in the comments. And if not, just leave a like and check out our earlier videos. Also subscribe if you somehow haven't yet. Good luck.